How to be kind without losing yourself. Stoicism. The fine line between kindness and self-sacrifice. Kindness is a virtue that enriches our lives and fosters connection, but there's a delicate balance between being kind and losing yourself in the process. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate compassion while maintaining inner strength and self-respect. When we're overly generous, constantly prioritizing others' needs over our own, we risk neglecting ourselves and inviting exploitation. This reflection explores how to practice kindness without compromising your well-being. Being kind feels rewarding. Helping someone without expecting anything in return sparks joy and fulfillment. However, without boundaries, this generosity can lead to unintended consequences, self-neglect, and vulnerability to those who might take advantage of your goodwill. To avoid this, we must learn to distinguish between genuine kindness and excessive self-sacrifice. Mistaking people-pleasing for politeness can trap us in a cycle where our needs are sidelined. If you're always available to others, you may inadvertently signal that your time and energy are less valuable. This section introduces the Stoic principle of balancing compassion with self-care, ensuring you remain kind without losing your sense of self. The dangers of saying yes to everything. If you struggle to say no and consistently prioritize others' requests over your own needs, you're setting yourself up for emotional and mental strain. For example, imagine agreeing to help a friend move despite having a packed schedule only to feel overwhelmed and resentful afterward. Saying yes to every request can foster emotional dependency where your self-worth becomes tied to others' approval. This habit often stems from a fear of disappointing others or a belief that your value lies in your usefulness. However, always being available creates an expectation that you'll never prioritize yourself, leading to exhaustion, frustration, and even health issues. Stoicism emphasizes self-mastery, urging us to set boundaries to protect our inner peace. When someone asks for a favor you can't reasonably fulfill due to prior commitments or personal limitations, it's not only acceptable but necessary to decline. A person who respects you will understand. Those who don't may be exploiting your kindness. By learning to say no with confidence and clarity, you reclaim your autonomy and prevent the emotional burnout that comes from overextending yourself. The perception of excessive kindness. While being kind often earns praise, it can also be mistaken for weakness by those looking to exploit generosity. People who repeatedly seek your help without reciprocating, such as a colleague who always delegates tasks to you, may see your kindness as an opportunity for personal gain. Stoicism warns against allowing others to manipulate your virtues. For instance, someone who only contacts you when they need something is likely taking advantage of your goodwill. Recognizing these patterns is crucial. Setting boundaries doesn't mean abandoning kindness, it means demonstrating that your time and energy are valuable. By firmly but politely declining requests that overstep your limits, you send a clear message: your kindness is not a resource to be exploited. This approach aligns with Stoic principles of maintaining dignity and self-respect, ensuring your generosity is reserved for those who value it. Confronting discomfort with courage. Suppressing your feelings to avoid conflict can erode your happiness and self-esteem. For example, staying silent when a friend dismisses your opinions may preserve temporary peace but harms your sense of self over time. Stoicism encourages us to face discomfort with courage, viewing conflict as an opportunity for growth rather than something to fear. Productive confrontation, addressing issues calmly and respectfully, can strengthen relationships and clarify boundaries. For instance, if a coworker repeatedly interrupts you in meetings, addressing it directly but politely can foster mutual respect. By expressing your needs and standing up for yourself, you cultivate authentic connections with those who appreciate your honesty. While some relationships may fade when you assert boundaries, those that remain will be rooted in mutual respect and understanding, aligning with the Stoic ideal of living authentically. The trap of toxic compassion. Toxic compassion occurs when kindness becomes self-destructive, causing you to prioritize others to the point of erasing yourself. This behavior, often called nice guy syndrome, is particularly evident in relationships where one partner overindulges the other, expecting something in return, whether validation, affection, or control. For example, a person might shower their partner with gifts and attention, not out of genuine care but to secure their approval. When these expectations aren't met, resentment or hostility can arise, revealing the manipulative undertones of their kindness. Stoicism teaches that true kindness is selfless, not a transaction. Overly compassionate individuals may neglect their own needs, like a parent who sacrifices their health to meet their children's every demand. This imbalance can lead to emotional invisibility, where your identity is defined by others' needs. Recognizing this pattern is key to breaking free and practicing kindness that uplifts both you and others. The consequences of losing yourself. Excessive kindness can create a web of challenges, including insecurity, low self-esteem, and inauthentic relationships. When you constantly prioritize others, you may lose touch with your own desires, leading to a cycle of self-neglect. For instance, always putting a friend's problems first might leave you feeling unfulfilled and disconnected from your own goals. This dynamic fosters dependency, where your happiness hinges on others' approval, increasing anxiety and guilt when you can't meet their demands. Stoicism emphasizes self-awareness as a path to inner peace. By neglecting yourself, you risk forming relationships that are one-sided or manipulative, as others may exploit your willingness to give. This cycle can leave you feeling lost, unsure of who you are without others' validation. Recognizing these drawbacks is the first step toward reclaiming your identity and building healthier connections. Strategies for healthy kindness. To practice kindness without losing yourself, adopt these Stoic-inspired strategies. Set clear boundaries. Communicate your limits openly. For example, if a friend asks for help during a busy week, explain that you're unavailable but suggest another time. This shows respect for both your needs and theirs. Release guilt. Saying no doesn't make you unkind, it reflects self-respect. Practice declining requests that overextend you, like turning down extra work when your plate is full, without feeling guilty. Prioritize yourself. Create a list of your goals and commitments, such as dedicating time to a hobby or self-care. This helps you allocate energy to others without neglecting yourself. Know yourself. Reflect on your values and emotions through journaling or meditation. Understanding what matters to you makes it easier to set boundaries and prioritize your well-being. Practice assertiveness. Express your needs calmly and confidently. For instance, if a colleague takes credit for your work, address it directly to ensure your contributions are recognized. These strategies align with Stoic principles of self-mastery and balance, ensuring your kindness is sustainable and empowering. Understanding nice guy syndrome. The nice guy syndrome describes a pattern where individuals use excessive kindness to seek approval or control, often at the expense of their own needs. This behavior, rooted in insecurity or a need for validation, can manifest in relationships as overindulgence or conflict avoidance. For example, a partner might agree to every request from their spouse, expecting love or loyalty in return. When these expectations aren't met, they may feel betrayed, leading to resentment or hostility. Stoicism warns against such transactional kindness, advocating for genuine compassion without ulterior motives. Recognizing this syndrome involves identifying signs like overindulgence, sacrificing personal goals to keep others happy, conflict avoidance, suppressing opinions to avoid disagreement, Lack of boundaries, agreeing to requests without considering personal limits. Low self-esteem, seeking validation through others' approval. Fear of rejection, worrying that asserting yourself will lead to disapproval. By addressing these patterns, you can cultivate relationships based on mutual respect rather than manipulation. The impact of nice guy syndrome on relationships. Nice guy syndrome can destabilize relationships by creating imbalances. The nice partner may feel resentful when their sacrifices go unreciprocated, while the other feels pressured by unspoken expectations. For example, a person who always yields to their partner's preferences might later resent the lack of mutual effort, leading to tension. Other consequences include resentment and frustration. Constantly prioritizing others' needs can build negative emotions, harming the relationship. Imbalanced dynamics. One partner's dominance can create unfairness, fostering feelings of inequity. Loss of identity. Overfocusing on others erodes personal autonomy and self-worth. Poor communication. Avoiding conflict stifles honest dialogue, making problem-solving difficult. Emotional distance. Lack of authenticity prevents true intimacy, leaving both partners unfulfilled. Dependency. The nice partner may rely on external validation, hindering personal growth. These dynamics can lead to relationship breakdown if unaddressed. Stoicism encourages addressing these issues through self-awareness and mutual respect to foster healthier connections. Overcoming nice guy syndrome. Overcoming nice guy syndrome requires intentional effort and Stoic-inspired practices. Transparent communication. Share your needs and concerns openly. For example, discuss workload distribution with a partner to ensure fairness. Set boundaries. Define clear limits, like declining requests that conflict with your priorities, to maintain balance. Cultivate empathy. Understand your partner's perspective while honoring your own needs, fostering mutual respect. Promote independence. Pursue personal goals like a hobby or career ambition to build self-reliance. Handle conflict constructively. Address disagreements calmly, using them as opportunities for growth rather than avoidance. Practice self-care. Dedicate time to activities that nurture your well-being, such as exercise or meditation. Seek professional help. If needed, consult a therapist to navigate complex dynamics and build healthier habits. These steps, rooted in Stoic principles of self-discipline and balance, help transform imbalanced relationships into equitable, fulfilling partnerships. Balancing kindness and self-respect. The adage, "nice guys finish last," reflects the unfair reality that excessive kindness can lead to self-neglect. Stoicism teaches that true kindness includes being kind to yourself. Avoid falling into the trap of pleasing everyone by valuing your time. If a manager assigns extra work because you're reliable, negotiate for a raise or additional support. For example, suggest hiring more staff or sharing tasks with colleagues. Avoiding overgiving in relationships. In new romantic relationships, don't overwhelm your partner with extravagant gestures. Instead, build mutual interest gradually to ensure genuine connection. Maintaining independence. Continue pursuing personal interests and friendships even when dating. This prevents dependency and keeps your identity intact. Rejecting manipulation. Recognize when others guilt-trip you into compliance and calmly assert your boundaries, like declining excessive requests from a friend. By balancing kindness with self-respect, you ensure your generosity doesn't come at the cost of your own well-being. Practical tips for healthy kindness. To be kind without losing yourself, adopt these practical Stoic-inspired habits. Learn to say no. Practice declining requests that overextend you, like saying, "I can't help this time, but let's find another way to support you." Spot manipulative behavior. Identify patterns such as someone who only contacts you for favors and limit your engagement with them. Communicate calmly, express concerns with clarity and respect, like addressing a coworker's habit of offloading tasks in a professional manner. Set boundaries early. In new relationships, establish expectations such as sharing responsibilities equally to prevent imbalances. Prioritize self-care. Schedule time for your own goals like a weekly hobby session to maintain your sense of self. Build confidence. Engage in activities like public speaking or drama classes to boost assertiveness and self-esteem. These habits ensure your kindness is sustainable and aligned with Stoic values of balance and self-mastery. The Stoic path to balance. Stoicism teaches that life's challenges require balance, avoiding extremes to maintain mental and spiritual equilibrium. Excessive kindness can disrupt this balance, leading to self-neglect or exploitation. Instead, strive for moderation, be kind, but not at the expense of your own needs. For example, helping a coworker with a project is generous, but taking on their entire workload signals that your time is less valuable. By setting boundaries and prioritizing self-care, you cultivate relationships with those who respect your worth. Stoics believe that true peace comes from interpreting and responding to situations with wisdom, not from avoiding discomfort. Embrace kindness as a strength, but temper it with self-respect to maintain your serenity and authenticity. Kindness is a powerful virtue, but without boundaries, it can lead to self-loss and unhealthy relationships. Stoicism offers a path to balance, teaching us to be compassionate while honoring our own needs. By setting clear boundaries, saying no when necessary, and prioritizing personal goals, you can practice kindness without sacrificing your identity. Avoid the trap of nice guy syndrome by fostering genuine, reciprocal connections rather than seeking validation through excessive giving. Remember that your worth isn't tied to others' approval. It's rooted in your own efforts and self-respect. Continue to be kind, but ensure it's balanced with courage and self-awareness. If you found this reflection valuable, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay true to yourself, and we'll see you next time.